You have a very interesting start to your business because it started from a political loss.
Well, it was a good political fight in a way. After having been with the Ayala Group for 23 years, I decided to leave and pursue.
Serving the people.
Yes, to be a public servant. You get to encourage people that when you are down, you get up.
So yung puhunan ninyo when you bought the 3-hectare property at
3
3
million
million
pesos lang.
that you got out of your retirement fund?
Yung retirement fund ko, naubos ko na sa election the first time. I did not dream to become a publicly listed company. In the same way that when people ask me, what is your vision of the company? Hey, let's not forget, I wanted to be a politician. I did not dream to become heading a publicly listed. I was probably one of those few guys in Visayas and Mindanao who really went into it in 2017.
Is it the first? No naman.
Well, we would say even the Aboitis are from here, or the Robinsons are from here, no? But for a local guy who really started it, from the bottom, as a first generation, I guess I would be.
You would have that distinction.
Yes, I would probably want to own that distinction.
It takes a special mold of person to turn a political setback into a multi-billion peso publicly listed company, and all from scratch. Hindi minana ni Joe Soberano ang lupang kanyang pinuhunan para maging Cebu Landmasters Incorporated. Joe built on investments and business ventures he and his wife started and valuable connections from the corporate world he was once a part of. Makikilala natin ang dalawang henerasyon ng real estate giant na tubong Cebu and one that is truly changing the game. Makakasama natin dito sa Usapang Bilyonaryo sina Joe, Franco at Joey Soberano. You have a very interesting start to your business because it started from a political loss, tama ba?
Is that right? Well, it was a good political fight in a way. After having been with the Ayala Group for 23 years, I decided to leave and pursue.
Serving the people.
Yes, to be a public servant.
Was it with a heavy heart? I mean, napilitan lang ba kayo na to turn your back on your dream to be in politics?
Well, I felt then that I was doing a service to the public. So I observed how I am able to make people happy because I want to give them also the best that they really truly deserve. The homes based on what they could afford. It was an eye-opener for me because I thought that with the reception I was getting from it, it's something I could replicate for other towns. I think I was achieving what I want in my dream of service by
another way.
In another way.
Tapos kumikita ka pa.
Yeah,
Diba?
that's the bonus which I feel that I could also have a multiplier effect.
So yung puhunan ninyo when you bought the 3-hectare property at
3 million pesos lang.
that you got out of your retirement fund?
Yung retirement fund ko, naubos ko na sa election the first time.
You turned it around, right?
Right. That's what you get to encourage people that when you are down, you get up. You know why I got attracted also to politics? Because I was dealing with politicians, no? Even when I was with Ayala, I was the guy who looked and worked things out for them. Because we're talking hero projects,
right.
We want to make sure that we get their cooperation and they get to appreciate what we're doing.
Right.
So I interact
So it's
a lot.
like government relations.
Yes,
Oh.
I also do that on my own way. So I get to appreciate how they do things. So to me, I have tried this, and I also felt that I did my own service. But I think I could do something better. You know, the idealism will always come about, and I know what I was up to. But I still feel that there are no regrets, because I still deal with the politicians. And every time I go to a new city for a new venture or a new project, I go first to who heads this town, who is the mayor of the city, who is the governor, because that's the most important thing. You need to deal with the leaders or the people who count, because they're the one who will give the influence and the right things, the right words for all businesses. So it's always a partnership for me. Business and politics is always a partnership. Not only were we having this opportunity, we had our export business already, principally run by my wife. It was also doing very well. Those were the heydays of the export business. In fact, I was helping
Fashion accessories.
fashion and home accessories, because we also were into home decorations and all that. In fact, up to this day, we still are hopeful that we'll make a comeback. A lot
in
of
home and fashion.
Yes, home and fashion. It did well for us. The resources that we were able to build out of that business, and even the people that work in that business carried over
to this
Cebu Landmasters that we set up.
Okay.
We always answer it na it's as old as our marriage. That export business. A very fond memories kami dyan.
How long have you been married?
37 years now.
Wow.
Yes, and counting, getting stronger by the year or by the minute.
Good to know. So, 3 million you said.
Yep.
Ngayon, magkano na worth ang Cebu Landmasters?
And again, congratulations! With great pride, I am pleased to finally announce the Cebu Landmasters Incorporated.
There are things that we have to work on very hard, and we are very confident of attaining them. So to the Cebu Landmasters team, this is the time to roll up our sleeves, work, continue to compete, and excel.
Just like how I started in this business, I did not dream to become a publicly listed company. In the same way that when people ask me, what is your vision of the company? Hey, let's not forget, I wanted to be a politician. I did not dream to become heading a publicly listed. No, the bankers were the one who told me in 2015, 2000, they said that you're getting ready for it, because they saw how I run my business, how transparent I am, no, in my books, how I also am so growth oriented in the way, and I'm very expansive in my ideas, and also in my strategy, also for yourself, because if I am able to sell it to the public, that means that they
believe
give
in
me
you. It's a vote of confidence.
Yes, there is a value added to me, and to think I was probably one of those few guys in Visayas and Mindanao who really went into it in 2017, and I'm starting from the beginning.
Is it the first No, no naman.
Well, we would say even the Aboitiz are from here, or the Robinsons are from here, no? But for a local guy who really started it, from the bottom, as a first generation, I guess I would be.
You would have that distinction.
Yes, I would probably want to own that distinction.
You got the vote of the stock market investor. Parang election na rin yun, di ba?
Yes, because they can just snub you, no?
What fueled your growth?
2007, 2008, well, my employer, which I owe so much, the Ayala, gave me an opportunity to buy a commercial lot here in Cebu IT Park. It was an interesting corner lot. And
How did that opportunity fall on your lap?
well, because they already knew that I was in real estate.
Okay.
And
They
Joe,
trusted you.
yeah, and this were also not too rosy times. 2008, we were facing the subprime crisis
Yes,
there
yes,
in the US. So I guess they said, we'll give you a very good deal. I think they gave me a good price, a good deal. That started my journey for more vertical projects na. Then, before I knew it, I was doing multiple projects. Then, I went out of Cebu. No, I went to Cagayan de Oro, then Davao, and then Bacolod, Iloilo.
What was the thinking there? You're all over na.
Yeah, I guess that there is that real demand that we want to address. There's a lot of unserved demand, and opportunities abound. And these are major cities.
No one is really paying attention.
Not as much, because we do have national players already there, no? In fact, there are still those who have inventories, but it's not as well penetrated. To me, we
You know the market more.
we took another angle at it in
What?
terms of the selling and the strategy, no? So,
Which is,
well, give the market the product they deserve. Put premium in it. When we turn over projects, we're just really there. We're not ever going to go away.
two of you have experience working outside the Philippines, no? Tama? Did you have a say in your coming home? Was your father, did he put his foot down? You guys have to join the business.
I'm happy and I'm proud to say that because of what we have delivered here, those that we are now planning to enter, there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of anticipation. People are waiting. And that really pleased us. Basically, we go across the board in terms of market segments.
Yeah.
No? We go high-end. We do have our products because there's also a market for that.
And there's opportunity.
Yes. And we also look at Bismin as a real tourist destination. Tourism is going to continue very strongly here, especially Cebu, Bohol, no? Even Cagayan de Oro and Davao. And that's why we also have hotels. And we are prepared for that. To me, the more important item is what am I really going to deliver as a product. then I can go. I have my own little way, you know. I'm sure there are those that have made their mark in a more, in a grand fashion, and I respect that. No, to me, it could be a little step up to now, and it's going to continue because I'm prepared for the next generation.
Two of you have experience working outside the Philippines, no? Tama? Why? Did you have a say in your coming home? Was your father, did he put his foot down? You guys have to join the business.
I call him Boss Joe or JRS, Jose R. Soberano. So we call him JRS in the office.
The way everybody else addresses.
Since we came from the corporate world, we hesitate to call him Dad in front of meetings. So I address him as my boss there, and it helped that. To answer your question, he never directly asked me to work for him, but I guess he let his actions do the convincing. No, he was growing our business.
Yeah.
So never in my expectations did I think our small real estate business would grow to where it is. And at the time when I joined, we were about to do our first condo. We were doing housing before, so it was very exciting to join.
We're in different stages. So Franco was really at the beginning of CLI. So he left his company, Hewlett Packard, to help the business when it was really growing. Myself, I was 10 years in another company. So I was 10 years with Nestle.
Pinagpalit mo yung Switzerland, yung Cebu. Do you have regrets?
No, I don't. I had very good career in Nestle. It was part of the global marketing team. So it was really very good. But eventually, the company was growing. They also needed my expertise in that aspect. And when we wanted to go public, what's important is really to share our story, to be more known, to drive our communication and our branding strategy. So, which really said that, okay, I think I need to stop what I'm doing and help the business. They were saying you're already way overdue there. You should come back.
So medyo may kasamang arm
There was a
twisting
little
na.
bit of saying like, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? I think you should have come back. So when it was also a good time because I was having my first baby. I was heavily pregnant, so I think it's also a good time to start and bring my family to the Philippines and really help the business this time.
So both of you are able to bring in what you learned outside.
Me, when I was with Hewlett Packard, so I handled Procter & Gamble as a client. I did project management. So for me, it was really managing time, people, costs.
Operations talaga,
And
logistics.
the humility, customer. So my customer was a multinational, and I had to go above and beyond. Wake up at 3 a.m. if they had any requests. Get some tongue lashing from some customer and take it well. The humility was really the most important
Really?
learning. And beyond the
That
corporate
the customer
world,
is king.
the customer is king. And then that was very important foundation for me. I took real estate degree in Columbia in New York, and that's where I expanded my skill set to know more about planning, real estate, programming.
So you were already priming yourself to join when you were taking your master's.
Yes. By the it's like good timing, and then as I said,
Why did you choose real estate?
actually it's in the blood, no? It's kind of it's even real estate has been in your family even before my dad and mom. My grandma was God bless her soul. She's up there in the heavens. She's known as one of the top brokers actually in Cebu. We don't come from a lot of land. We don't come from much. or a lot of the land we own is we had to buy. It was never given, but she's a broker.
Okay.
Built a lot of relationships, and I remember when we were kids in dinner tables, she talked about sa Bisaya, yuta, mga lots here, there, and she would be able to measure the room by just walking around. She said, 20 square meters. So ganun pala.
She was the first lady realtor. I think that's what she was known for here in Cebu.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's in the blood talaga.
At that time, I was already in the company. I joined in 2010.
I see.
I did like a year, and then I said, I think we need to really go from good to great. So I need to expand my horizon. So I got that investment from the company to take a master's degree. Yeah. So 2011 I studied and come back 2012. Yeah. So that's why you see a lot of, you're in one of our buildings, you'd notice that our designs are quite thoughtful, our standards are quite global, and one of the things I kind of brought, real estate is really about putting together the right team. Kami, we never, I guess CLI would invest in the right people. Meaning, some people, let's not spend for that consultant or this interior designer kasi mahal. But kami, no, we know it's mahal and it will pay back in the future. So I think, doon kami...
You don't scrimp on
You don't scrimp.
expertise.
You don't scrimp on expertise.
Oh, as a parent, my God, that's what more can I ask? That's my dream. No feeling of entitlement. They really work hard, and they listen. They listen. They don't believe that they have the monopoly of ideas, because I'm sure they are dealing with people much older than them. Yeah. But they listen. But together they can work a lot much bigger things, no? Together.
Hi, welcome to the sales department. I'm Rose.
Thank you, Rose.
It's so good to have you here. This is how we market our projects. People who come and visit our office can do it themselves. No, they can always just press and then see through the virtual tour how the project is going to be. You are getting a priority number by using that device, and there it goes.
I press payment. Does it mean
So
I have
the
to pay
cashier,
now?
yes, your number will flash,
Okay.
and then the cashier will give you a call.
So both of you worked on that. I've never seen anything like it. What is the idea behind it?
Yeah, so it was really our way of giving a good experience to buyers, because we say we build with you in mind. So we build not just at the end in mind, but at the start. We want to treat every buyer equally, whether it's a high-end project or an affordable project. So they get the same private banking-like experience when they reserve a unit or have an inquiry. Yeah, we invested a big amount for that gallery. It's beyond the physical naman. It's really how well our people take care of it.
It really started from our planning sessions. Every year we have a planning session with our Mancom. And it was really, our vision in the company is to be the most customer-centric company in the Vismin. So how do we drive that customer centricity from the start of the sale? So that's why we decided that we needed a flagship sales office to already have that unique, very hands-on experience from the start of the sale. That's why we created our flagship sales office. So it's always full of people, and it's really like a very and we have a lot of activities there. We have a lot of food and even
There's food.
activities. Yeah, sometimes we have little pocket events and activities to just improve the customer experience of
You should invest na and invest in a Cebu Landmasters project.
Salesman ka talaga.
yeah. That's a very important step in everybody's lives. So once you enter, we need to improve that experience.
The more exciting part is when you launch projects. You could see queuing na yan. Talaga, may mga special numbering pa yan eh. Kasi inaabangan.
Parang selling like hotcakes, parang...
Even have people to make sure they are first on the line.
They come at midnight.
They camp na. They camp.
They camp.
Oh, they camp.
Ganyan ka-desirable. Parang Apple launch. Are you preparing for, exiting because your 4 children are here?
We have all of this succession planning, the family constitution.
Oh, may ganon.
We have made that preparation already.
To be in a
Awkward, why?
It's awkward because you talk about
You really open yourselves
yeah,
up.
you talk about your plans, your concerns.
And it may clash, no?
Yeah, and sometimes
May-
it's
you
not
may
this.
differ.
It's not we're not
So
always on the same page.
Yeah.
So anyway, like family businesses are so tricky. So also me coming
Yes.
from a very corporate ladder, I was in a
Right.
very big organization.
Because your family.
Because your family,
You take
sometimes
things for
it goes
granted,
to
yeah.
it's part of dinner, it's part of your holiday. It gets really blurry.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then your
yeah.
father and your boss and your mom and your brother, it's very complicated. So the family constitution puts a lot of things in place to ensure that we really still grow as family and grow as an organization. So I think that's very key. So one key thing of the Constitution is really to ensure that we have no entitlement. No entitlement means I come in the office as a professional based on my scope of work and my
Not the
job
daughter of
description.
the
I'm not the
president.
daughter of the boss or the owner of the company. So that's why we call our dad JRS in the office. So in the office, he's really my boss.
I think it's just like any skill. It needs to be developed over time.
Coming up with a family constitution took a while. Took a lot of...
Maybe 4-year process for us, and the good thing as per our consultant was we're quite ahead because usually it's you fix the family governance and then you handle corporate governance. Kami baliktad. We're already publicly listed. So everything is transparent, documented. So our consultant's very happy that we're one of the... It's easier, no? Kasi you already made your company with strong corporate governance as a listed company. And it's not... it's even better that we're still a very young business. Father, mother, brother, sister.
Yeah.
I really pushed it because when I studied in New York, I met so many of these mga Bilyonaryos. And, you know, parang they even like mga Forbes 500 na classmates, no? And oh, your family governance not in place. Parang they don't know who will be the successor. They have cousins also working in the business. So we enrolled in family business classes, and yun pala, better to do this governance thing early on.
Para rin walang samaan ng loob, no?
Yeah, that's correct. Remove the gray areas. Remove the gray areas.
Change our mindset. It's a change in mindset.
Yeah, professionalism is also always something we look up to. The team that we have, we cannot do it without them. And then the children who is family are making very sure that they are also at that professional level.
You've set up something that will outlive you.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that the dream of any man?
Yeah, I love that happening.
So what will you do when you retire? What do you? What are your
that-
passions?
Well, that's the thing that will not ever gonna happen. I'm never gonna retire. I am 66 now. By the time when Franco, my eldest son, will take over as the CEO, of course I will be a chairman. No, a time probably I will. There will be somebody who will be the chair, but I will still be in the midst. No.
So there's nothing else that you would wish for in life?
It became sort of a good model for the city, and it attracted even our neighboring cities. No, I'm willing to put another one there and another one here.
Donate.
Yeah, donate. When you're in real estate, you're asked for certain compliances.
Try.
But to me, it's beyond compliance. I don't want to do socialized housing because I'm trying to comply. We became that interest of this local government because what we did was we designed it ourselves and build it ourselves. It's not like here's the money, you do it. We did it, and based on how we in Cebu Landmasters do our projects, it was so impressive because it took us 11 months to do it, and then we helped organize together with the LGU in terms of the beneficiaries to be qualified as a
Very
real,
proud of it.
yeah, real model because the way it's done, nobody would even think, wow, that only cost you so much. How you would like to look at poverty eradication, for example. I don't think you can ever eradicate it without having to build homes for people. If people are left homeless, how it's not just a house, right? A home is because you have people there, and these are now your main objective in terms of feeding them, giving them the life that they deserved. Because it's not just for mere shelter by itself, and it becomes what would create that family, and that bonds you, that motivates you, that empowers you. And it can even reform a lot of people by having their own homes.
So you think that's one of the solutions?
One of the solutions, because people can just get lost there. And then just being there on the street, where else can they go? No? And I guess there are still a lot of our Filipino brothers and sisters who are out there who can afford it. And that's why we talk about this backlog, no? 5-6 million
backlog.
And it gets to be pronounced over the years, because how many homes can developers combined together with government can produce a year? And to me, what better consolation if I would be able to give that example to even to my fellow developers. There's that market waiting for you, because we cannot do it by ourselves. So we keep on going to new cities, and the first thing we will address is really the horizontal need. Hindi muna kami, especially second-tiered, third-tiered cities.
At mas mabilis yun,
Mas mabilis. That can be done even less than 2 years. Because while you're doing your land development, you can start putting on the houses.
Mas maliit nga bang kita kung nandyan ka sa socialized?
Yeah. The problem there is really because there is a ceiling. But the government now is trying to increase it. I've been hearing about them going about 1.2, 1.3 million. Right now, it's only about 580. But again, I do not want to be constrained by the ceiling. When you have that market that you are addressing, you know what price points they are going to accept. And because you are addressing that market, then you have to make sure that you have that bottom line protected. And they are more than willing to take up that price because they see what
they see the product.
They see what you can deliver. Yeah. For example, teachers, they would like to feel that they would qualify very much for a 580,000 socialized housing unit, no? But the reality of the matter, even economic housing up to 1.5 million or even more, the teachers can afford it.
Yeah.
Especially with working husbands or working wives.
But no one is offering that.
Yeah, not too much, and only because they're probably out there too far away. But again, let's say countryside, for example, that is where opportunities are even better because land cost is cheaper and more affordable. And why can't we build more houses there? Then let's cater to those market. How small or how big they may be. We go beyond what is prescribed, because we address because it's socially what we want, in terms of extending help. I think that's the bottom line for us. If we would be able to do it, even within the development that we have, we look at the community that we are affecting. How else can we contribute? Are we being the solution, not the problem?
That's what we admire about my dad. And he really has that heart to give back. And we're so proud of that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the very important things we learned from my parents. They're very simple people. I don't know if you get that from meeting him, but very simple, very humble. Not a lot of, material things and everything, but very generous in giving.
Yeah, giving without asking for anything in return.
Seeing the forest na.
Yeah. Well,
which is
look,
what you do.
That's for this generation, the next generation to think about, because we're thinking about this, something in the not too distant future, about going to Luzon, going to Metro Manila, I think it's bound to happen.
To show them
Alright.
how Cebu does things.
Not naman, because eventually, because we'd like to also share.
Make some noise.
This is sharing of the formula here that hopefully it could also succeed there and will be appreciated.
What's the aim in 5 years?
So on the financial aspect, we're really on a growth path. Now, we've been growing 20 to 30% per year.
And you
we
intend to keep
We
that?
see ourselves continuing that for the next 5 years. And I guess
Wow.
that's even discounting the fact that we're not in Luzon. So what more can happen if we're going to enter Luzon? And JRS or Daddy Joe, I guess, is letting us decide if we want to make that jump.
I wanted to know why Luzon when the opportunity is here in Visayas, Mindanao, and magaling na kayo dito eh. Punta pa kayong Luzon?
Para
Nangialam eh.
so that we can talk
Everything
more.
goes with you.
We can visit you. We can visit you.
But you think you can show Luzon how to do things. Maybe that's it, no?
We just had our strategic planning session, was it a few weeks ago? Yeah, a few weeks ago. So every planning we discuss what is our next 5-year horizon. So Luzon is one because we really, we also want to show, we want to do all the good things we've done in Vismin to Luzon also to bring it there because we are very good at economic housing to give more for the families that we cater to. So we want to show what that's like in that region and all the other things that we do. And how do we do that for economic housing? How do we do that for the middle class?
What we can bring to Luzon is really our hands-on type of development. Because even as we're growing, we're still that homegrown developer that people can easily approach, can easily access. You know, homeowners association would text me for whatever lechon donation or basketball tournament. They can reach me. I'm very reachable, and in all the residential projects we've developed, we've never been kicked out. We're still managing, I think, 40 developments that we've completed.
Is it still worthwhile to be in that?
Worthwhile because
You want the
if
the
we
proper.
let homeowners can run it, but it won't be professionally run. You know,
And you don't want to let go.
we have the patience for it.
But there's money, but there none.
Not so much. But there is, long-term customer satisfaction. I've been there kasi when we were still improving our service. I've been there to turn over keys to our homeowners, and I was looking, parang we can do better with this house. Parang this is way back. No? So we've been improving every aspect of delivery, turnover, and we're not talking about high-end. We're also talking about affordable, mid-affordable. And I think that might be like a breath of fresh air when we bring this to Luzon.
How about your mother? What is her role in the company?
I don't know how important, she's like the most important.
My mom is now starting to think of retirement. So she's in like semi-retirement thinking, but I would say the two areas she looks at is treasury and some part of sales. It's really grown, so I guess there's a very happy pressure on the batch one because we have to continue the legacy of our parents.
How do you unwind?
Oh, well, family first, no? Unwinding with the family, we travel. Well, pandemic time was the best time. That's when we discovered Cebu. So many beautiful places we haven't been at.
So it's really family.
Family is unwinding, but I have a lot of friends. No, my El Camino group, we meet. This is the group that
You did the hiking.
Walked 6 times already in Spain.
Wow, really?
Yeah, we were a very regular group. I have my class 1972 in high school. Can you imagine? This is such a close group. We're probably the only class in my old high school that still managed to meet every week.
So there's nothing else that you would wish for in life?
Parang nasa inyo na lahat.
Hindi naman. We're always hoping that we will get the best of the afterlife. Yun siguro ang pinaka-ultimate dream natin siguro, no? Na we get there. So that kind of unwinding is I don't want to sound
very
too religious.
spiritual.
Is yung being able to find time to pray. That's a very good time for unwinding. So I do have the time for that, no. So time for recollections, even retreats. Those are important times for people, and it makes me at peace.
Ito ang Casa Mira, ang flagship economic housing development ng Cebu Landmasters, ang pinakamalaking real estate developer sa buong Vismin. Para sa mga Soberano, we build with you in mind ay hindi lamang isang corporate promise sa nakaraang 2 dekada. Ito ay pamamaraan ng pamumuhay na patuloy nilang itataguyod. Dahil every Filipino family deserves a decent home. Ako po si Ces Orenya Drilon at isa na naman po itong episode ng Usapang Bilyonaryo.